Sure, I would do honestly.
Good morning, everybody. I'm not going to delay what I want to say. So please forgive me for not going to take the time out to recognize each and everybody who's watching the live, because it's just going to take up time and I want to get this over and done with so that I can get to do other things I need to do. The only thing I'm going to ask, I just want to make sure that I'm audible enough, because I don't want to sit here and say what I'm saying without having confirmation that I'm audible enough. Good morning, everybody. Can anybody just indicate to me whether I'm audible enough, please? Once again, good morning to all of you. Can one person just indicate whether you can hear me properly? I'm just waiting on a confirmation that I'm audible enough. Thank you very much. There's confirmation that I'm audible enough. Thank you so much. Good morning, people. You know, I did not want to say anything. I would like you to share this live. I didn't want to say anything. I was waiting on the president of my party to speak on the matter of the Open Chat podcast by those racist people. And the press spoke last night, and I thought that today I'm going to say what I want to say. I'm going to share my viewpoints with you. First, I agree 100% with everything press said last night. Honorable Gaten McKenzie went live last night and he said what he had to say. He touched on quite a few things, but I want to particularly zoom in into the Open Chat podcast, where they don't see us colored people. Now, you know, the commemoration of the Northern Areas Uprising is where I come from. I'm from the northern areas of Port Elizabeth, Nelson Mandela Bay. And there was an uprising in 1990, 35 years ago. 1990. We only went to the polls in 1994. A lot of people don't want to recognize the contributions that we've made towards the liberation of this country. Now, the Reverend, the Dr. Alan Busak was in Port Elizabeth with the commemoration of the Northern Areas Uprising. Those of you who don't know, the Northern Areas is a colored populated area. Came about by the Group Areas Act. So, when forceful removals took place and we were grouped together, and in Port Elizabeth, the colored people, they were all moved to the northern areas, and that's where I come from. Now, there was a commemoration of the Northern Areas Uprising, and I want to it's in the newspaper of today. I read the newspaper online. I read the paper online, and this is by Busak. You can see there. Yeah. So I'm not going to read the whole article. I just want to touch on something that matters to me. Something important. And it is just so that they have the commemoration history. Excuse me. And at the very same time, when our colored people are not being raak gesien by those people who claim to be African in particular. I want to read. Ja man, ek het brille. Gekry. I want to read what Dr. Ellen Busak said. It says, the death of people in the northern areas uprising remains forgotten and undocumented. That's what Ellen Busak says. Apartheid is not over, and there is still a struggle ahead if 35 years after the northern areas uprising, the people of the area still do not receive recognition for the tragedy. That was the message from Dr. Ellen Busak, who was in Port Elizabeth yesterday to commemorate the 35th anniversary of the uprising. Proceedings began with a wreath-laying ceremony at the Uprising Monument in Bloemendal and at the Papenkill Cemetery, before the delegation made their way to Nelson Mandela University, where Busak delivered the keynote address. The event was collaboration between NMU, Nelson Mandela University, the 1990s Uprising Committee, and the House of Klaas and David Steerman. In his address, Busak said the so-called colored people were marginalized in South Africa. At the Sharpeville massacre, 69 people were killed. At Langa, more than 40 people were killed. And the Marikana massacre, 43 people were killed. But here in the northern areas of Port Elizabeth, more than 50 people are killed, and nobody talks about it. It's a colored area. The first genocide in this country was by the Dutch on the Khoi and the San. Apartheid is not over now. There is still a struggle ahead. The uprising still goes undocumented. They mention all the violence but forget the northern areas. He said the history of the colored community needed to be upheld and acknowledged as it was pivotal to the progression of South Africa. The trial of Nelson Mandela was not the first and biggest treason trial. In 1808, there was the largest treason trial when 344 of our people appeared. Colored people. The word colored was introduced by the British colonialist. Nobody must take our Africanness away from us. The government is corrupt from top to bottom. The president of the country, Cyril Ramaphosa, cannot say we are African. When the ANC came into power, the first thing they said to me is that I am colored. They are hungry for power. Busak said while it would not be an easy task, the colored community needed to remain resilient and take up space in the democratic South Africa. However, everything is not lost. Our democracy is still young. We must weep today, but as we weep, we will rise. We can still stop the rot and claim power that rightfully belongs to us. We can do it for our children. We must not give up. We have a government that is demakar. He said it was a shame that in the year that Mandela was released from prison, such a sad event happened. More than 50 people died in the uprising that started in August the 6th, 1990. The massacre started when a number of people, mostly women, peacefully protested against the housing issue, and the police opened fire at them, and 5 days of unrest followed. Hundreds of people were injured in the aftermath and many more incarcerated. That's the words of Dr. Reverend Ellen Busak about the Northern Areas Uprising, where the colored people stood up in 1990. Now, with what has happened, have you noticed that the ANC has gone quiet? They've gone mute. They're not saying anything. The ANC has gone quiet. But you see why they've gone quiet? Because it confirms my conviction that because they are saying that we are not African, and they say that. I had a question in Parliament, a question to the President, Honorable Cyril Ramaphosa, asking him if there is a law that says that we are not African, albeit the fact being born here in South Africa. I asked if there's a law that says so. The president had so much gymnastics with his response that he never responded to date. He was just playing around with words. They don't see us as African. Now, why is the ANC quiet? The ANC is quiet because it's not colored people who said those things. If colored people had to use the K word, the ANC you would have heard about the ANC. They would have dominated the screens on TV. They would have dominated the space on radio. They would have dominated the newspapers with the faces of colored people using the K word. It's not right to use the K word. It's illegal and you must not go unpunished when you use the K word. That I believe in. But had the roles been reversed, the ANC would have been vocal. Why are they quiet? You see, a few years ago, there was a lady, a PA lady. I like that lady, eh? She worked hard for the party. Very, very hard for the party. And then her child made a video on her phone and used the K word. The leadership of the party said we cannot have this because if a child, I don't remember how old the child was, maybe 6 years old or 7 or 8 years old, but it was a young little boy. And the leadership of the party said, if we are not going to take action against this woman for a child making a video and uttering the K word, then there's everything wrong with us as a party. Because we are a party who want to realize the rainbow nation that Mandela dreamt of. We want to realize the rainbow nation that he wanted. And if we're going to go mute like the ANC has gone mute now, then it's going to be everything wrong with it and we are going to be part of the problem. We removed the lady because of her child's utterances and video that he made. But we asked her, please explain what happened. She said no, she wasn't aware a child used the phone and made the video. Then the leadership of the Patriotic Alliance asked one question. Where does a child come on these things? So in other words, these are the discussions that you have in your house. These are the discussions that you have with friends and family or whoever you're having it with, but this child picked it up from you. So it says everything about who you are and how you are. And for that reason, because of the utterances of your child by having made this video using your phone, we hold you responsible, we hold you liable, we hold you accountable, and we are going to ask you to leave the party with immediate effect. And we removed the lady. We removed the lady. That is decisive leadership. Because we do not condone racism. We don't stand for racism as the Patriotic Alliance. So when we stand up now against these racist fools from Open Chat Podcast, it's not the first time we're standing up against racism. We stood up against racism amongst our very own who show those tendencies by virtue of what I've just explained to you now. Now, you cannot now crucify us for taking the posture and the position that we are taking because of Open Chat Podcast, who use these derogatory words and names, and it's heartbreaking, people. My question is, why is the ANC quiet? I'll tell you why they're quiet. Because the ANC, the African National Congress, is a national congress for Africans. And they say we are not African, so they don't see us. That's one of the reasons why they're quiet. They say we are not African, so they don't see us. They don't pick up for us. Now, silence, there's an answer. Still bleef ook 'n antwoord. Still bleef ook 'n antwoord. So the ANC, you've answered us. You have answered us. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again, without fear or favor. You, African National Congress, a national congress for Africans, who do not regard anybody else that's not black as African, you are doing nothing about these racist black people. I'm not black. I'm not black. A lot of people try and tell me, yeah, but you're black. You see, this issue of being black is a policy of the ANC. They need you. So they say, no, all of us are black. We are black and you are black. Now, how on earth can it be that I am black and you are black? But this black and this black is not African. Only one of you is African of the blacks. I'm not black. I'm colored, and proudly so. And you can come with all those things that, yes, the British named us colored, the Dutch called us colored, Hottentot, Hottenot. Listen, colored has become a culture. And I'm proudly colored. I'm also not just proudly colored, I am pro-colored. Pro-colored, I am pro-colored. But I'm not anti-black, anti-white, or anti-Indian, or anti-any other race. The problem is not being pro a race. You can be pro-black, please be. Please be pro-black. The problem is if you're anti-colored, or anti-white, or anti-Indian. And that's the problem with the African National Congress, because white people, Indian people, and colored people are not regarded as African by them. And it's not a law that says that you're not African. It's an ANC policy. Show me the law. Anyone watching this live, show me the law. There's no law. It's an ANC policy. That they alone are African, but they want to embrace you and say, hey, my black brother, hey, black. Yeah. There's no black in the rainbow. I'm not black. I'm colorful. You know, sometimes discussions come in handy later in life. I want to take you back to a discussion I've had, and I'm sure he won't mind if I mention his name. He stood up and he said, he asked, why am I not being recognized? Is because I'm colored. He made mention of ANC, black ANC people, artists, musicians, who made millions of rands when they came back to South Africa. He made mention of Yuma Sekele. He made mention of Marie Makeba and others who came to South Africa, tyd van South Africa, nou na post-94. Toe kom hulle terug, so they came back. And they had shows here all over. A lot of people think, particularly in the African National Congress, say, no, we were in exile. Yay, vach in exile. Let me tell you something about exile. Being abolished from your country, being placed in exile is one thing. But have you ever considered, like your Yuma Sekeles and your Marie Makebas, I got no respect for those people. I don't care who says what. I don't respect that people. Those ones went into self-imposed exile. These ones went into self-imposed exile. Self-imposed exile. Jy het jouself gaan geloop, sakke gepak en geloop. You packed your bags and you left, out of choice. Self-imposed exile. You went and said, I'm in exile, and you lived luxurious lives abroad, while we had to face the bullets and the tear gas and the Section 29 detention without trial and all those things. You see? And then you want to come and say, no, you're the general because you were in exile. Yeah, you weren't in exile. You took yourself there. And you came to reap the benefits of the struggle of the people, including colored people in particular. We fought the fight for liberation. Now, this open chat podcast, people, the ANC is not taking any action against them. Now, I'm not saying that it's ANC people, the ANC aligned, the ANC members. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the ANC is not taking action against them because it's black people. Because they only see black people. They only see their own people, African people. According to them, although I believe I'm also African. And you also African if you're born here in South Africa. But to them, it's only black people who are African. Now, those people have this entitlement, those open chat podcasts. And maybe their parents were part of this struggle And now they feel they're entitled to do and say what they want to in the manner that they've gone and said what they'd said, you know. There's a knock on my door. This thing doesn't give me the option to pause. So let me just open the door and just give me a second, please. Hello, are you? I'm just busy. Yes.
I just want to. Did they come back to you?
Nobody came back to me.
I'll just confirm with that.
Yeah, I was going to stop at the office now to check.
Okay, I've been so seeing that spout on the
Yes.
shelf. I can't find that something that is similar to that.
Okay.
I'll just move around and check it.
Okay.
Right.
Can I please ask at the office, man?
All right, I'll just give him a call now.
Please, because they gave them 48 hours.
Okay, no problem.
Sure.
All right.
Thank you so much. Pleasure, man. My apologies. My apologies. It's leaking here where I'm staying, man. There's this house I'm staying in. So it's in a parliamentary village, maar het lekker so lekker kamp. That's why I came to knock here, because I've been struggling to get this leak fixed for the last good few months. Since I reported it in March or so, April. Still not fixed, but that's besides the point. So, you see, so these people have become beneficiaries. They've become beneficiaries, while colored people are neglected and marginalized. Dr. Alan Busak was correct. He was correct. Now, the root of this entitlement is brought about by the policies of the African National Congress. Because now they feel that they call themselves Africans and not us. So they feel Africans are the chosen ones in South Africa. Let's spiel. Africans are the chosen ones. But you know what? Where they get it wrong, they're not the chosen ones. They came here afterwards. Black people migrated here to South Africa. They were not here. They were not here before. Our forefathers was here, alone. Black people came afterwards. They came afterwards. They were in Northern Africa. They were in East Africa. They came here afterwards. Now they got in our own backyard. They want to come and tell us what to do and insult us in our own backyard. It cannot be right. They are not the chosen ones. They are only the chosen ones when they are chosen for job opportunities, sports opportunities. Switch on your TV, then you hardly see colored people. You hardly see white people. You hardly see Indian people. It's mostly black people because they believe they are the chosen ones. You are not the chosen one. You are only chosen for opportunities and positions and promotions. You get someone in South African police services, you get some, you're going to spy from police services, but let me mention it. I've already said it. You get people in the defense force, in the military police. You get people in all over, men. Then you get these ones who call themselves Africans who come there, wet behind the ears, don't know nothing about the work. Then you have people there who has been there for years, highly experienced. Then they must train those ones. And once they train those ones who call themselves Africans, then those ones get promoted. So you find people stuck in positions for 20 years, 30 years, stuck in positions. While somebody, Johnny come lately, Jabulani come lately. Jabulani came here 5 years ago. You've been there 25 years already. You've trained Jabulani. Now Jabulani goes, after 5 years, becomes your boss. Becomes your boss. That's been there for so many years. You see? It can't be right. You are not the chosen ones. You are chosen for those opportunities, and we are being marginalized. That's what it is. You may not like what I'm saying. I will repeat every word I'm saying here. I don't owe the ANC nothing. I owe patriots answers. I account to my party, not to the ANC. Why must we be third-class citizens and doormats in South Africa? It stops now. This thing has just caused nonsense, but you know what? I thank God for what happened. I want to thank Open Chat Podcast for what they did, for what they said. I want to thank them, because if this is what it takes to ignite the spirit of the colored people to unite, then I want to thank them for this. For every dark cloud, there's a silver lining. So this must draw us closer together. We only have us. We only have us. We have to be on our phones, check the messages. Something is going to happen. We are going to get together. We are going to do a demonstration. We are going to march. We are going to address this issue. So Rafi Beter Mensa, we only have us. I now see the Democratic Alliance went and opened cases, delayed charges against this Open Chat Podcast. It's fine, you can do that, it's your right. It's your democratic right to do so. But let me tell you something, Democratic Alliance. Let me tell you something. You see, you don't see us colored people. You only use us colored people. And all those all borsels, gatgreepers of the Democratic Alliance, people of color, know that, yay. You do so because you're getting something from the Democratic Alliance. So you are singing for your supper. All those councillors, colored councillors, are used because the DA don't have enough vote if they don't include black and colored people and Indian people in their party. They too little, because they've got this warped idea that they're going to run this country. They'll never run this country. They've got 12 people, ministers and deputy ministers in the GNU. There's not one colored person amongst them. Now, what does that tell you? There's not one single colored person amongst the 12 that they have. Not one. What does it tell you about them? They don't see us. They're no different than the ANC. The DA is no different than the ANC. Let me tell you that. No different. South Africa, we are going to SABC. We are going to these fools. What are they called? Open Chat Podcasts. We're going to find them. We're going to find them. We must decide if we are going to fight or if we're going to flight. Fight or flight. We cannot turn our back and run. So flight is out. We have to stand steadfast and fight. Fight doesn't always mean that it must be physical. No, I'm not saying it physical. We can fight for our rights. That's what we can do. We've got the right to demonstrate. We've got the right to demonstrate. We've got the right to feel the way we feel because we have been, like doormats walk over us as colored people. Do you know the Patriotic Alliance is the only party who's fighting for the scrapping of racial classification? Because for as long as there's going to be racial classification, racism will exist. We've asked them, call all of us South Africans, because in America, everybody is Americans. In China, everybody is Chinese. Why can't South Africans in South Africa just be seen as South Africans? When you apply for a job opportunity, the form must just ask, are you South African or are you a foreigner? End of story. Not, are you black, are you African? Because the forms ask, are you African, white, colored, Indian or other? Meaning that white, colored, Indian or other is not African because it's a separate block for African. Those ones believe that they are African alone. Honorable Cyril Ramaphosa, please please, do the right thing. Encourage the party that you are leading to scrap racial classification, to regard all of us as South Africans, because for as long as we're going to have this, racism is going to exist, and we cannot build a rainbow nation in the presence of racism and racial classifications. We need to discuss this. We need to action this. But I want to say to you, colored people, we are on our own. We are on our own. I just wanted to talk to you about this. And I needed to tell you that we will not retreat. Ons baizani. By fire or by force, we are going to deal with this thing, because we need to teach everybody who is in the corner of these podcast fools, those racists. We need to teach them a lesson, and we are going to use this open chat podcast group to teach South Africa a lesson of waar David die wortel begrawe. How coloureds can stand up. A mal colored, a befokte colored. Jesus. Moenie met ons speel nie. Moenie met ons speel nie. There's one thing I know about colored people. They don't buy that. Hulle is nie bang nie. Sure. Kyk, moenie speel nie. We've been in the trenches. We fought for liberation. The struggle is not over yet. The struggle is not over yet. And this fight that we are going to fight now, it starts now. This fight for the rightful place for us colored people. Do you know what the positive spin-offs thereof is going to be? The positive spin-offs. There are black people, particularly in the Patriotic Alliance, who feel the pain of our colored people. There are black people who feel the pain of our colored people, who share the sentiments of what I'm saying here. Because they are not racist. Not all black people are racist. And those non-racial, those black people who are not racist, they are the ones who's coming to the PA. Those black people who believe that we must not oppress another race, they are the ones who coming to who is with the PA at the moment. And others are still coming. So it's not all black people. The problem is the black leadership of this country, not black people. And the black leadership come with their policies, the African National Congress policies. And that is why these ones who don't know what the struggle is all about can talk about the colored people who's contributed tremendously, effectively to the liberation of this country. You know, I want to end off by saying the following. Some of us don't know each other really deeply. We know of each other. We don't know each other. I want to tell you something about myself. The day I decided to leave the ANC was in 1994, after we voted ANC. I left the ANC because in 1994, when the non-whites got together to overthrow the whites, the minority whites, we saw each other as non-whites. And the same year after we voted in April, a few months later, I couldn't stand it anymore, because immediately thereafter, the black guys from the ANC started calling us coloureds. Said, no, there's a difference. There's us Africans, we are all black, but there's us who are African. You and I are black, we are African. And then there's the white people, and there's the Indian people, and the Chinese people. Chinese people were also regarded as non-white. There were whites and non-whites in South Africa. When the non-whites got together, we overthrew the government, the white government. Now, I spoke to Ronnie Casserols, Ronnie Castle's stalwart of the ANC. And I said to him back then, we referred to each other as comrades when I was in the ANC, of course. Now we refer to each other as leaders. I said to him back then, comrade, I'm going to leave this party now. He asked me why. I said, because they don't stand up for colored people. Ronnie Castle said to me, I hear you, and it is really sad. Go and fight for your people. I understand. Ronnie Castle sent me a very long email. A very long email. Very, very long email. I don't have that email account anymore, so I can't even retract that message. It was hotmail.com, not gmail.com or what. It was a Hotmail account. Hotmail doesn't exist anymore. But in that email, he encouraged me to fight for the colored people. You know, I was told I'm impatient, but in 1994, I could see around the corner where this is going. And as true as God, look where we are today. Third-class citizens in our very own country. While they are the settlers, they were not here. Our forefathers were here before them. Now, I looked out for a party who can stand up for colored people. I looked out for a party. And it took me some time. You know, I found a party in Cape Town. I want to tell you where I come from. I found a party in Cape Town, and the guy who started the party was a librarian at UWC. His name was Mervyn Ross. I think he was from Goodwood somewhere. I don't know if he's still alive. I've not seen him in ages. I saw him those years at last. I didn't like the name of the party. And I said to them, guys, this name is just bothering me. They said, no, we're just coming up with a name so we can draw attention. We're going to change the name. I left the party because this party, I'll give you the name now. I left the party because this party went against what I believed in. It was against my principles. Because they became like, we done training. We done training here somewhere in the Boland to pick up the armed struggle and fight the ANC. I said, no, I don't want to be part of killing people. I don't want blood to flow. This is not the way we are going to sort this thing out. I said, I don't want this. That party's name was Kleerling Weerstandbeweging. So Eugene Drublaan from Afrikaner Weerstandbeweging made contact with us, and we met with him. The founder member of the Freedom Front Plus, Constant Viljoen, made contact with us, and we met with him. And they said, it's right that you guys are standing up as colored people. They said we must start our own radio station. They're going to support us. They're going to fund us. We had numerous meetings with them, but then I realized that this is not right. There's a different way to fight, like we're going to fight this case now. Doesn't have to be physical. They taught us, trained us how to make bombs and how to do all these things. And I said, no, man, this is not what I signed up for. This is not what I envisaged. Excuse me, there's a different way of fighting a good fight for the liberation of the colored people. So I left the organization at a time when they made me the Secretary General of the party. I left that party. I remember in Paul, Drakenstein, Port Nolloth, that party went all over, building the party, building pockets, building cells, build cells all over. Then you bring them together afterwards. We done all that. You know, back then, we were armed. We traveled convoy throughout the night. There was not a firearm we didn't have with us, or a type of firearm that we didn't have with us. We were loaded. Loaded. Serious firearms. Convoys traveling throughout the country. But I realized that no, my spirit just told me no. Don't follow through with this, because it got to a stage where certain discussions took place and I said, this is not what I saw. I just thought we're going to fight a good fight for the liberation of colored people. Not these discussions that we're having, and then I walked away. I never joined another party. I never voted for that party. We never made it to elections. So I only voted for the ANC in my life, and the second party I voted for was the PA. I don't play follow the leader. When press came to fetch me to form part of the PA, I just found another party. This party was also Cape Town based. It's a nationalist colored party. It was called the NCP, Nationalist Colored Party. And I only came to Cape Town to come and see these people of the Nationalist Colored Party because I believe that our colored people deserve a rightful place. So anyway, if there were other parties, I didn't know of any other colored parties, I would have thrown my weight behind him. Because I could see that we are being marginalized as colored people. So I'm giving you the facts. I'm giving you those who know of me but don't know me. I'm giving you my background. Press will tell you where he found me. The Nationalist Colored Party formed part of the PA because it's a patriotic alliance. It was an alliance. It was a few parties that came under one umbrella also, when the party was revived for the first local government elections. We had that meeting in Port Elizabeth. They had the Garden Court in Summerstrand. It was massive. There's still some footage of it. So, also that party, we never made it to elections because the party broke up. There was a leader there, Buddy Choban. You can ask Auntie Pat, Honorable Patricia De Lille, the minister, about Buddy Choban. Ask Press about Buddy Choban. What a character. But I've always believed that there's a need for colored people to rise up. And if you look at where we are today, we are being marginalized. We are third-class citizens in our own country. We are not getting opportunities. We are deprived of all opportunities in all fronts. It's not right. So for long I've had that conviction that something must be done for the liberation of colored people. Something must be done. So, with the Patriotic Alliance, it was also a colored party. So it was easy for me to fit in, slot in. It was easy for me. But you know what? The wisdom of the leadership of the party, led by Honorable Gayton McKenzie, said, there's no place for a race-based party under the sun. We have to realize the Rainbow Nation. We have to bring all races together. And then Press went very deep when he discussed those things with us. And I saw the light, and I saw the need, and I saw what was right. I saw the light, I saw the need, and I saw what was right. And it was the right thing to do, was to bring all races together under the Patriotic Alliance. And therefore, I'm very, very happy. I'm very proud to be a patriot. I'm very proud to be a member of the Patriotic Alliance, because it's the only party that stands up and fights for us. Now you come with the DA who's now also saying, oh, that's nothing of the colored people. That's not right what they said. Hey, you don't see us. You are now just jumping on the bandwagon. Show us how you promote colored people. Then you can talk. Action speaks louder than words. We know how you fool, mislead, and deceive people, Democratic Alliance. You're no different than the ANC. When you come spearly. If there's anybody who doesn't want to affiliate, associate themselves with the Patriotic Alliance, it's your choice. But if I must give you a second option, who you must support, if you don't want to support us, go to Honorable Fadil Adams, the NCC, the Nationalist Colored Congress. They've got 2 seats in Parliament. They've got councillors municipalities. Go to the NCC. They don't biza. They fight for the colored people. Go there. If you don't want to come to us, go there. Go there. There's no other party you can go to who stand up for colored people as much as NCC and the Patriotic Alliance. There's no other party you can go to. So I want to thank you for your time. I needed to share this with you. Keep an eye out for the posts and for the messages that's going to be coming. All roads will lead to Joburg within the next 7 days. All roads will lead to Joburg. All roads. SABC, we are coming. DSTV, we are coming. And in the main, Open Chat Podcast. Jesus, ek is nie bang vir julle nie. Julle speel julle mogus. Julle speel. Ek bang vir julle, maar nie kom speel nie. Jare. Me, I will die for colored people. Me. Nie speel nie. You've tried us. You've tested us. You didn't see us. You will now feel us. En ek loop heel voor. Don't come and tell me about no, you're a member of parliament, you're not allowed to. Hey, dollar what you must. I'll dollar what I must, you dollar what you must. Whoever you are. Dollar what you must. Kenya Malbushi. Do you know what a mad colored is about? If you don't know, you're looking at one right now. Ek is mal, mense. Ek is mal. Ek is verby mal. I'm beyond crazy. I am beyond crazy. And you know what? I can tell you now already. When we Landela there, you'll see white people with us. You'll see Indian people with us. You'll see black people with us. Because those are the people who also seek justice and fairness in South Africa. Those are true patriots, where they feel each other's pain. And when we deal with this issue where colored people have been marginalized and disrespected by these fools, the positive spin of their office is going to be that everybody else that's not regarded as African in this country will become beneficiaries of the mass action that we are going to be taking. Because why? I promise you, they will never do this again. And those of you who stand in the corner of this Open Chat Podcast, people, those of you who agree with him, those of you, I've got news for you. Your time is up. Your time is up. You are going to see what's going to happen now in the next week. You're going to see. We are going to make an example out of you that will serve as a deterrent to anybody else in South Africa who don't see us colored people. Whether you're the president of this country, whether you are whatever in this country, this will be a deterrent. Mark my words. Mark my words. You will come back and apologize to us. Not these. Did you see the apologies of this open podcasting? That's not an apology. It's an insult even further. When you go to speel, people, I've got some things to attend to. Let me go, man. I've got people waiting on me. So I really want to thank you for your time. I really, really want to thank you for your time. And I really want to appeal to you. Be on standby. Be on high alert. Be on standby. Be on high alert for your trip to Johannesburg. Joburg, get ready. We will be there from very early hours. We will be there in numbers. Tens and tens of thousands of people. We are going to be there. Make your way to Johannesburg. Those outside Johannesburg, make your way there. Colored people across South Africa, make your way there. It's die groot trek. It's the great trek to SABC. It's a great trek. Make your way there. Put in leave at work. Take leave without pay. Do what you have to do. Jump in cars. Take people with you. We're going to rock up. And we're going to show them flames. I want to reiterate in closing. We are not going to burn tires. We are not going to damage infrastructure, property. That's not the PA way. The PA is very much against anybody who damage infrastructure, burn stuff. That's not the PA way. That is an ANC way. We're not the ANC. We've learned from them what not to do. We've learned from them what not to do. We don't roll like that in the PA. If you burn tires and loop, you don't belong here. We don't operate like that. We're not hooligans. There's a way in dealing with it. And the power lies in the numbers. We're going to see you, leader. Leaders will see you in a week's time. Trust the process. Let's be responsible. Let us be level-headed. But let us be firm and assertive in our actions. Thank you so much, leaders. I'll chat to you soon. Thanks for your time. Please share if you dare. Salute.
Sure, I would do ownership.